The Chosen One stands at a crossroads, their life at a pivotal moment, surrounded by a storm of challenges, obstacles, and adversities. The path before them is unclear, shrouded by the weight of struggles and the heavy burden of expectations. But within, something stirs. A force rises, not of fear or desperation, but of anger, fierce, focused, and undeniably powerful. This anger is not the destructive force it is often portrayed to be. It is not an uncontrolled burst of rage, nor is it a weakness that threatens to consume them. No, this anger is different. It is their divine protector, their sentinel, guiding them through the darkness, shielding them from the mediocrity of the world around them. In the face of countless injustices and the weight of the world pressing down, this anger becomes their tool, their weapon, and their ally. It propels them forward, ensuring that their path remains untainted by the distractions and limitations that lesser beings may try to impose. It is the fuel for their journey, the fire that burns within to push them toward their true potential. Anger, in its purest form, is not a force to be feared. It is a divine gift that empowers, strengthens, and ultimately leads to transformation. Anger is not your enemy, it's your divine protector. It's the force that will propel you forward, ensuring that your path remains untainted by the mediocrity of others. Anger is not a weakness, it's your sentinel, guarding your potential, your worth, and your destiny. Are you ready to embrace your anger and harness it for your greatest purpose? Subscribe now to discover why your anger is the key to unlocking your full potential. Anger has long been misunderstood. It is often dismissed as a destructive force, something that must be controlled or suppressed. But for the Chosen One, anger is not something to be feared. It is a divine tool, a force capable of shaking the very foundations of the world around them. It is not a mere reaction to injustice or frustration, but a powerful call to action, a surge of energy that demands change. Anger arises when the world around you no longer serves your highest good, when the forces that control your destiny are out of alignment with your true purpose. This is when anger rises within, not as chaos, but as clarity. Anger is a cosmic explosion, the ignition of a force that shatters old patterns, breaking through limitations that once held you back. It is the fire that burns away the chains of mediocrity and oppression, clearing the path for the Chosen One to step into their full potential. When anger surges within you, it is a signal, a call to break free from the forces that seek to keep you small, to rise above the ordinary, and to claim the greatness that is your birthright. Anger is not a reaction, it is a call to action, a cosmic explosion that obliterates old patterns, launching you into the realm of your true potential. In moments of frustration, when the world seems to push against you, it is anger that provides the strength to push back. The situations that seem impossible to overcome, whether it's a toxic relationship, an oppressive boss, or a life that feels stagnant, are not obstacles meant to break you. Instead, they are opportunities for your anger to ignite, a spark that transforms adversity into fuel for your rise. The anger within is not aimless, it is focused and purposeful, driving you toward the life you are meant to lead. Anger, when harnessed properly, is not just a reaction to injustice, but a deliberate force that shifts the course of your life. It demands action, a response to the injustices you face. The Chosen One is not one to sit idly by and let the world define them. Their anger is the key to breaking through the chains of their past, the barriers that have held them back from achieving their highest potential. Every time they feel their anger rise, it is a sign that they are on the verge of something greater. It is time to break free, to step into the power that has always been within them. Anger is not just an emotional outburst, it is a powerful weapon, a tool that allows the Chosen One to challenge injustice in all its forms. Whether in their personal life, their career, or their relationships, anger becomes the catalyst that fuels their fight for fairness, truth, and respect. It is the fire that drives them to stand up for themselves and others, to confront the systems and structures that seek to oppress and control. Imagine a world where your voice is silenced, your efforts undervalued, and your kindness taken for granted. The Chosen One knows this world all too well. It is a world where the light of their potential is dimmed by the forces of mediocrity. but it is anger that ignites within them, a supernova of power that demands attention, that demands change. In these moments, anger is not the enemy. It is the ally that propels the chosen one forward, urging them to challenge the status quo and claim their rightful place. Take the example of Thor, the Norse god of thunder, and his hammer, Mjolnir. Thor's anger was not blind rage. It was a controlled, focused fury that drove him to battle against the giants that threatened Asgard. His anger was not chaos, it was divine purpose, a force used to protect his kingdom and defend against the forces of destruction. Each strike of his hammer was deliberate, a calculated blow that shattered the giant's hold on his realm and restored balance to his world. Just like Thor, the Chosen One's anger is a tool for transformation. It is not random or reckless. It is deliberate and focused, aimed at dismantling the structures of oppression and mediocrity that stand in the way of their true potential. When the Chosen One faces injustice, whether from a toxic boss, a deceitful friend, or a world that refuses to recognize their worth, their anger becomes the hammer that shatters the barriers in their path. This is not a destructive force, it is a transformative one. It clears the way for the Chosen One to rise, to reclaim their power, and to step into the greatness that is their destiny. Anger empowers the Chosen One to rise above the limitations imposed upon them. It fuels their fight for justice, propelling them forward in their journey to not only survive but thrive. It is the force that propels them to confront the challenges in their life head-on, to push against the forces that seek to keep them down, and to rise above the ordinary. Anger, when harnessed correctly, becomes a weapon of transformation, a force that changes the world around them and helps them reclaim their place in the universe. Just as Thor's hammer shatters the chains of oppression, the Chosen One's anger is a tool for breaking through the limitations that have been placed upon them. It is the hammer that strikes the giants in their life, the oppressive forces, the toxic relationships, the self-doubt that has held them back for far too long. Each surge of anger is a calculated blow, a strike that dismantles the old patterns of abuse and neglect, opening up space for the Chosen One to step into their true potential. Every time the Chosen One experiences anger, it is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that they are standing on the edge of transformation. Anger, when channeled effectively, becomes the force that shatters the barriers of their past, allowing them to break free from the chains that have held them back. Whether it's the anger that fuels their desire to escape an oppressive job, or the fury that drives them to reclaim their voice in a world that tries to silence them, anger is the catalyst for their rise. When you, as the Chosen One, allow your anger to surge within you, it becomes a fire that burns away the limitations of the past. It transforms the obstacles in your life into stepping stones, propelling you toward your true potential. Like Thor, you wield your anger with purpose, using it to challenge the forces that seek to hold you back and to claim the life you were always meant to lead. Anger, when harnessed correctly, is not just a tool for survival, it is a tool for transformation, a divine force that empowers you to break free and rise above the mediocrity that surrounds you. In your daily life, when you encounter situations where your voice is silenced, your worth is underestimated, and your efforts go unrecognized, it is anger that ignites within you, demanding attention and action. This is not the moment for passivity. This is the moment for you to rise, to strike the hammer of transformation, and to reclaim what is rightfully yours. Your anger is the force that ensures you are never overlooked, never underestimated, and never held back. It is your divine protector, guiding you toward your true potential and ensuring that nothing can stand in your way. Anger is not a force to be feared, nor is it something that should be suppressed or ignored. It is, in its purest form, a divine protector, a guardian of your dignity and honor. As the Chosen One, you possess a unique power within you, one that is constantly under siege by forces that seek to diminish, belittle, and strip away your worth. In a world where your voice is silenced, your efforts undervalued, and your kindness taken for granted, anger becomes the shield that rises to defend your sacred throne. When disrespected or mistreated, your anger is not a moment of weakness. It is an awakening, a divine alarm that stirs within you, compelling you to rise up and protect what is yours. This is not just about protecting your pride, it is about protecting your very essence, your divine right to stand tall in the world, unbowed by those who seek to diminish you. Anger is the force that ensures you do not allow others to trample on your dignity. It refuses to let you settle for anything less than the honor and respect you deserve. Think of Beowulf, the legendary warrior whose story has been passed down through the ages. Beowulf was not a man of reckless rage, nor was his anger unfocused. His wrath was a righteous fury, one that burned with the purpose of defending his people and his honor. When Grendel, a monstrous creature, threatened his kingdom, Beowulf did not shrink back in fear or passivity. No, his anger ignited within him like a powerful flame, propelling him into action, driving him to confront the danger head-on. His anger was not mindless destruction. It was a focused, purposeful force that fueled his bravery and determination. Just as Beowulf wielded his anger to protect his people and his land, your anger, too, is a powerful weapon for defending your honor and dignity. Your anger is the hammer that strikes when you are insulted, belittled, or disregarded. It is a fire that ignites within you, propelling you to confront those who would attempt to weaken you, to face the forces that would keep you in a state of oppression or mediocrity. This anger, when harnessed properly, ensures that you never allow others to treat you as less than you are. It is the divine guardian of your sacred throne, your self-respect, and your inherent worth. And just as Beowulf's anger ensured the survival of his people, your anger ensures that you stand strong in your truth, never compromised, never diminished. When anger rises within you, it is not an invitation for chaos or destruction. It is a call to action, a divine message that it is time to defend your place in the world, to assert your value, and to reclaim what is rightfully yours. The chosen one is not someone who will quietly endure mistreatment or settle for less than what they deserve. Your anger is the force that propels you to take action, to defend your honor, and to rise above the forces that try to keep you small. Anger, when channeled with purpose, becomes a powerful force for justice. It is the driving force that empowers the chosen one to stand up for what is right, to assert their worth, and to challenge any forces that seek to undermine their integrity. In a world filled with injustice, inequality, and oppression, anger becomes the fuel that propels the chosen one to confront the powers that be, to break free from relationships, situations, or environments that no longer serve their higher purpose. Anger is not merely an emotional reaction. It is a force of divine protection, ensuring that your dignity remains inviolable, your voice is never silenced, and your sense of self-worth is never compromised. In moments of injustice, whether in the workplace, in personal relationships, or in society, your anger rises as a beacon of righteousness. It demands that you stand up and say no to what is wrong. It pushes you to take action, to right the wrongs, and to make sure that those who try to diminish you are confronted and held accountable. Take, for example, Beowulf's confrontation with Grendel. The monster Grendel was an embodiment of terror and malice, threatening the peace and prosperity of Beowulf's people. Beowulf's anger toward Grendel was not an impulsive, uncontrolled outburst. It was a purposeful, righteous fury driven by a deep sense of justice. Beowulf did not hesitate to confront Grendel. He rose up, armed with his divine sense of justice and the strength of his anger, to protect his people and restore peace. His anger became the catalyst for action, the driving force that fueled his courage and determination. Your anger, like Beowulf's, is a powerful force that propels you into action. It is a force that ensures you do not remain silent in the face of injustice, that you do not accept mistreatment or disrespect. When your value is undermined, when your integrity is challenged, your anger rises to the occasion, pushing you to confront those who threaten your sense of self and dignity. Whether it's a boss who underestimates your talents, a friend who betrays your trust, or a system that seeks to oppress you, your anger gives you the strength to fight back. Anger is the force that drives the chosen one to reclaim what is theirs, to break free from the shackles of limitation, and to challenge the structures that seek to keep them small. It is not a destructive force. It is a force for creation, for the building of a new life, a new reality, one where your value is recognized and your worth is respected. Your anger is a divine protector, guarding your sacred throne and ensuring that you never settle for anything less than what you deserve. Just as Beowulf's anger was a force of protection for his people, your anger is a force of protection for your own soul. It ensures that no matter what challenges come your way, you will stand firm, unshaken in your belief in your own worth, and ready to fight for your place in this world. Anger fuels your desire to challenge the status quo, to dismantle the barriers that have been put in place to keep you from reaching your true potential. It is the force that drives you to take control of your life and create the future you deserve. In moments when you feel the most threatened, when your dignity is called into question, and when you feel disrespected or undervalued, your anger becomes the force that pushes you to rise above it all. It is your divine alarm, your call to action, urging you to stand up for yourself and defend what is yours. Through anger, you will find the strength to break free from the chains of injustice, to challenge the forces that seek to keep you down, and to rise to the heights of your true potential. Anger, when harnessed and focused, becomes the protector of your divine right to live fully, to be seen, and to be heard. It is a force that guarantees you will never settle for mediocrity, that you will never allow others to define your worth. Your anger is the shield that guards your sacred throne, ensuring that you rise to greatness, no matter the challenges that stand before you. In every chosen one's journey, there is a pivotal moment, the moment when they can no longer remain passive in their own story, when the weight of their circumstances calls them to rise, to act, to create change. This moment is often ignited by anger. Anger is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a powerful, transformative force that propels the chosen one into action, transforming them from a passive observer of life to an active creator of their destiny. It is the fire that burns within, pushing them beyond the limitations of their past and driving them to embrace their true potential. Anger becomes the spark that lights the path to their legendary purpose, allowing them to break free from the chains of mediocrity and rise to the greatness they were always meant to achieve. Just as the fire of the sun cannot be ignored, anger cannot be suppressed or dismissed. It is a cosmic force, a divine mandate that fuels the chosen one's movement forward. It is not chaos or destruction, but clarity and purpose. In the depths of their anger, the chosen one finds the strength to dismantle the barriers that have held them back, to step into their power, and to create the transformation they seek. Anger becomes the fuel for change, the driving force that propels them towards success and fulfillment, unlocking the next level of their spiritual and personal evolution. A powerful example of anger driving transformation can be seen in Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. Katniss, a symbol of defiance against the Capitol, channeled her anger into a force that ignited a revolution. The tyrannical rule of the Capitol oppressed her people, and when faced with personal loss and systemic cruelty, Katniss's anger didn't erupt as mindless rage. It became a focused, transformative energy. Her anger sparked a movement that changed the fate of her world. Katniss's fury was not simply about vengeance or destruction. It was about reclaiming justice, about righting the wrongs of a corrupt system. Her anger, properly channeled, was the driving force behind the resistance, lighting the path to a new world. For the chosen one, this kind of anger is a divine gift, one that pushes them to create change, not just for themselves, but for the world around them. It drives them to act when inaction is no longer an option. When they feel the injustice of the world closing in on them, their anger becomes the power that propels them forward, demanding change, demanding action. It is a force that refuses to allow the status quo to remain unchallenged. The chosen one, like Katniss, rises to face the world with the strength and fury of someone who is not afraid to reshape their destiny. Anger is the force that helps them rise above their circumstances, break free from the patterns that have held them back, and step boldly into the life they were meant to lead. Anger, when harnessed with purpose, is the key to breaking free from the limitations that confine the chosen one. It is the storm that propels them toward their promised land, the force that shatters the barriers, preventing them from stepping into their full potential. Life has a way of placing obstacles in our path, testing our resilience, and challenging our ability to persevere. But for the chosen one, anger becomes the driving force that allows them to overcome these obstacles. to push past the limitations imposed by others and by society, and to transcend mediocrity. Anger is not just an emotion, it is divine propulsion. When the Chosen One faces challenges that seem insurmountable, anger becomes the energy that propels them forward. It fuels their resolve, sharpening their focus and strengthening their will to push through the hardest of times. It is the catalyst for breaking free from the chains of mediocrity, from the self-imposed limitations, and from the external forces that try to define their worth. Anger, when wielded correctly, becomes the fuel for personal and spiritual growth. It allows the Chosen One to rise above the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. A powerful example of anger transforming limitations can be found in the story of Moses. When Moses witnessed the suffering of his people, the Israelites, under the oppressive rule of Pharaoh, he was filled with righteous anger. His anger was not the kind of mindless rage that seeks destruction, but a force driven by justice and the desire to free his people from oppression. His anger ignited a transformation, both in himself and in the fate of the Israelites. It propelled him to confront Pharaoh, to lead his people out of Egypt, and to challenge the oppressive system that had kept them in bondage for so long. Moses' anger was the divine energy that allowed him to rise above the fear and uncertainty that clouded his path. His anger led him to challenge the forces of oppression, to break free from the limitations of his environment, and to lead his people toward freedom. Just like Moses, the Chosen One's anger is the force that enables them to transcend the limitations imposed upon them. Whether it's societal expectations, oppressive systems, or self-doubt, anger becomes the key to breaking through and claiming the life they were always destined to lead. For the Chosen One, anger is not something to fear or suppress. It is the power that propels them to rise above the ordinary, to challenge the forces that seek to hold them back, and to step into the greatness they were always meant to achieve. Anger becomes the fuel for their transformation, the driving force that pushes them beyond their limits and into new realms of personal and spiritual growth. It is the force that ensures they never settle for less than their true potential, and it is the key to unlocking the life they were destined to live. Anger is not just a tool for transformation, it is the celestial compass that always points toward your highest self. In moments of confusion, misalignment, or uncertainty, anger serves as the internal guide that realigns you with your divine purpose. The world can be chaotic and overwhelming, filled with distractions, doubts, and expectations that seek to pull you off course. But when you feel the surge of anger rise within you, it is a divine signal, a call to realign with your true mission and values. Anger, when understood as a force for good, becomes a guide that illuminates your path. It directs you toward the highest version of yourself, helping you navigate through the storms of life with clarity and purpose. Just as ancient Polynesians navigated vast, uncharted oceans using the stars as their guiding force, your anger serves as your guiding star, illuminating the path ahead. It ensures that you remain aligned with your highest values and your truest desires, even when life's tempests threaten to pull you off course. The ancient Polynesians, skilled navigators who sailed across the Pacific, used the stars to chart their course through the endless, dark ocean. They trusted the stars to guide them, even in the midst of fierce storms and turbulent waters. The stars were their constant guides, pointing them toward their destination, ensuring they never lost sight of their purpose. Similarly, your anger functions as your celestial compass, guiding you through the murky waters of life and ensuring that you stay true to your divine mission. In the moments when you feel lost or overwhelmed, when your purpose seems unclear or distant, your anger rises within you as the force that realigns you with your true path. It ensures that you remain focused on what matters most and that you never stray from the values and mission that define you. Anger is not a chaotic force that leads you astray. It is a purposeful, divine guide that helps you stay grounded in your highest self and your divine calling. Anger, when recognized as a tool for divine guidance, becomes a force that helps you navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and clarity. It directs you toward your true north, ensuring that you stay aligned with your purpose and your highest potential. In moments of doubt or confusion, your anger becomes the guiding star that leads you back to your path, helping you stay true to your mission and your divine calling. Anger is not just a call to action, it is a reflection of your divine mission. a mirror that shows you the obstacles that must be overcome in order to fulfill your highest purpose. When you feel anger rise within you, it is a sign that something in your life is misaligned. Something must change in order for you to step into your true power. Your anger illuminates the path to greatness, revealing the forces that must be confronted, the challenges that must be overcome, and the changes that must be made for you to live the life you were destined to lead. The anger of Thor, Beowulf, and Katniss all served as a reflection of their divine missions. Each of them faced immense challenges, but their anger was not just about confrontation, it was about reclaiming their rightful place in the world. Thor's anger was the force that drove him to protect Asgard from the forces of chaos. Beowulf's anger was the energy that propelled him to defend his kingdom from the monsters that threatened its survival. Katniss's anger became the spark of a revolution, driving her to challenge the oppressive regime of the capital. Each of their journeys was shaped by anger, a righteous, focused force that pushed them toward their divine purpose. For the Chosen One, anger serves as a reflection of their divine mission. It illuminates the obstacles that must be overcome in order to step into their true potential. It reveals the forces that must be confronted, the limitations that must be shattered, and the actions that must be taken in order to fulfill their higher purpose. When anger rises within, it is a divine signal that it is time to take action, to step forward and challenge the forces that stand in the way of your destiny. Anger is not just an emotion, it is a force that propels the Chosen One toward their highest potential. It is a tool that helps them align with their divine mission, to see the truth of what needs to be done, and to take bold steps toward fulfilling their purpose. Like Thor, Beowulf, and Katniss, the Chosen One's anger is the spark that ignites their heroic journey, guiding them toward the greatness they were always meant to achieve. As the Chosen One steps into their full power, they come to understand the profound truth. Anger is not a force to be feared or suppressed. It is, in fact, a divine gift, one that has been with them all along, waiting to be embraced. Anger, once seen as an emotion that must be contained, is now recognized for what it truly is: a tool, a weapon, and a guide for personal and spiritual growth. No longer is anger a fleeting, uncontrollable outburst. It is a deliberate force, a catalyst for transformation that propels the Chosen One forward, pushing them beyond the limits of their past and into the greatness they were always meant to achieve. The Chosen One now understands that their anger is not something to be ashamed of or hide from. It is the very essence of their power, an energy that will shape their destiny and ensure that they rise above the mediocrity that tries to surround them. Like Thor wielding Mjolnir, the enchanted hammer of divine power, the Chosen One uses their anger to break through the chains of oppression, to shatter the barriers that once kept them in a state of limitation. The power of their anger is no longer a destructive force, but a force of creation, one that reshapes their world, their relationships, and their future. Just as Thor did not hesitate to strike down the giants who threatened his kingdom, the Chosen One now wields their anger with purpose and precision, shaping their path and protecting their sacred throne. Anger is not a mindless fury. It is a controlled, focused power that ensures they never settle for less than they deserve. It is the fuel that drives them to challenge the forces that seek to keep them small, to rise above the injustices they have faced, and to claim their rightful place in the world. No longer will they be silenced, overlooked, or underestimated. With their anger, the Chosen One will forge a path that leads to their highest potential. In embracing their anger, the Chosen One finds themselves stepping into a higher level of spiritual and personal awareness. They realize that anger is not a weakness or a flaw. It is a force that guides them toward their true purpose, a divine tool that allows them to reclaim their power. Anger is no longer an impulse that reacts to injustice. It is a conscious force that drives them to take action, to rise above their circumstances, and to manifest the life they were always meant to live. It is the beacon that leads them forward, ensuring that their path is always aligned with their highest values and divine mission. Chosen One, embrace your anger as the force that will shape your destiny. Like, subscribe, and share this message with others who need to awaken to their true power. Together, let's rise beyond limitations and claim our divine purpose. The time has come for you to fully harness the power within you. Your anger is not something that should be feared or avoided. It is a divine force that will propel you into the life you deserve. You are no longer the passive observer of your own story. You are the author, the creator, and the warrior. Rise, embrace your anger, and claim your destiny. The world is waiting for you to step into your full power, and with anger as your ally, there is nothing that can stand in your way.